We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle. Hi there, my name's Tercy Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So some of you've been listening for a while, and I'm grateful for that because I believe that we share this journey together, and I can learn from you and you can learn from me. I certainly learned from people who took the time to share their experience with me. And thus, I take the time to share some of the insights and nuggets that I've received over my 39 years of healing and becoming more of who I'm created to be as I encourage and support and inspire and applaud you doing the same thing, the best version of ourselves. I don't have your answers. I've said that for 200 and I think it's 85 episodes now, but you do. And sometimes you'll get clues when we participate by sharing. So I hope that you do. Let's see here. Okay, so this particular episode is called Pressure is a Privilege. And for some of you, I've told you that how I come up with the episodes is I'm actually sharing my journey with you that's current. While I started my podcast just before COVID, the COVID experience, there was a lot of sharing stories from the past, the 39 years of recovery. And while that continues to impact what I share here, it's really what does that look like today, 39 years later, as I continue to discover more about myself and take leaps of faith, try something new, embrace change, step into the unknown. What does that look like now at this particular stage of my life? Well, the Pressure is a Privilege title actually came from me listening to an MLB, Major League Baseball interview just today. So we're in the playoffs. The Dodgers won the first two games away from home in Philadelphia against Philadelphia. And last night they didn't win at home, game 3, which means game 4 happens this afternoon. And so I was listening to this interview, and at some point in this interview, Mookie, who's their shortstop, says, "Gosh, this interview kind of sounds like we're already defeated." And I just want to point out that pressure is a privilege and that there's still games to play and there's still at bats to perform and balls to catch. And I started thinking about that. Like, recovery life is like that, no matter what happened yesterday, which I admit it was a dismal game. My son was there with my grandson, who's the one that got me really back enthused about baseball. And of course, it's like, he's like, "Gosh, Mom, I spent $500 going to the game." And it was a tough game to watch, to participate in. And yet I reminded him, I said, "Hey, babe, listen, remember, it's the time together. It's the experience. It's the opportunity. It's not the outcome." And in so many ways, what Mookie said struck something for me. So, we all experience pressure, whatever that might look like for you. If you're on a healing journey, maybe it's another day's sobriety, maybe, or whatever your version of that looks like. Maybe it's taking on your health. Maybe it's dealing with a diagnosis. Maybe it's the loss of a loved one. Maybe it's the pain of a grandchild or whatever. It could be anything. But we always experience some version of pressure. It's part of what it is to be alive. And as Mookie says, consider that pressure is actually a privilege, that there's an opportunity there. And we get to show up again. We get to perform. Not necessarily, certainly they're on a world stage. We're not necessarily. We're just in our little world. But there's the inner critic, the inner judge, the inner skeptic, the inner fearful one, whatever that might be. And today's the day for us to step into doing our best, giving it all we've got. Like sometimes that's all there is. You just do the best you can with what you have. And oftentimes, as those of us who struggled with addiction look back and we look at the wreckage of our past, and there may be regret and remorse, or we look at our families of origin or whatever. And oftentimes we say that the peace comes from recognizing, you know what, we did the best we could with what we had available for us at that time. And now here we are in this time, in this moment, and there's an opportunity for us to do the best we can with what we have available for us. And showing up again, taking on this moment, that is a privilege. Particularly, I know the people who are listening to me live very privileged lives because we live in one of probably the richest environments in the world. We're not wondering if we're going to eat today, or if we're going to have a bed to sleep in, or if water's going to be available for us to drink. Most of us live way above the standard of many other people in the world. And yet we don't necessarily live like that. We don't keep our attention on that. And so that's what I want to encourage us to do. I want, when you feel pressure, when you feel like your back's against the wall, that it's time for you to show up. It's time for you to take on something. It's time for you to make a request or apologize or forgive or any other number of tools that it takes in order for us to continue to develop ourselves as that divine being you were created as, that person who has all of those qualities, that kindness, generosity, love, compassion, so many, kindness, patience. Those are the qualities that we're developing in ourselves. And every single moment is an opportunity for us to bring those qualities up and fine tune them. Now, we're not always going to do that. Sometimes we're going to blow it. Sometimes we're just going to decide we don't want to. We can be righteous. We can be right. We can be angry. We can be disappointed. We can be jealous. We can be whatever, right? Those are always available. But what this particular podcast is about, what I'm sharing with you, is how we heal, how we become more of who we were designed to be, is we develop our ability to access those qualities that all of us have, whether they've ever been acknowledged or recognized. We have them. And we can learn to access those qualities as an expression of who we are on a day-to-day basis, no matter what the circumstances of our life are. So, like Mookie said, pressure is a privilege. It's okay to feel the pressure of becoming the best version of you. You don't have to resist it. You can step into it. You can recognize, oh my gosh, I have an amazing opportunity here right now. And it is a privilege to become more of who I am created to be. And that's my wish for you. That's my prayer for you. So take that on this week. Remember that when you feel as if it's too difficult, it's too hard, there's too much pressure, remember, as Mookie Betts says, that's a privilege. Go ahead, be the best version of you. And I'll be here next week, waiting to share more with you then.